He made my forest cabin her home. Now she says it's ours. Those words stayed in my head long after she was gone, echoing through the empty rooms like a memory I couldn't silence. The cabin used to be quiet, just the sound of wind in the trees, the crackling fire at night and the creak of wood beneath my boots. But after she left, the silence felt heavier. It was not peace anymore. It was distance. Her name was Claire. She came one night in the rain, shivering at my door, asking for shelter. At first I thought she would stay a day, maybe two, but days turned into weeks, and before I knew it, her presence had seeped into every corner of my life. She had a way of turning small things into warmth. She arranged the stones by the fireplace, hung herbs by the window, and filled the air with laughter I had forgotten people could make. For years, this cabin was my escape. I built it with my own hands, log by log, nail by nail. Every cut of wood, every stone in the foundation, I placed myself. I thought it was mine alone, my fortress, against the world. But when she was here, it became something else. It became alive, and then she left. She said she had to see her family again, that the forest was too far, too quiet for her heart. I told her I understood, but when the door closed behind her, it felt like the whole cabin collapsed inside me. For weeks I walked from room to room, waiting to hear her voice, waiting to see her smile. All I found were shadows. I tried to keep myself busy. I chopped wood until my arms ached. I fished in the stream, fixed the roof, planted new seeds in the soil. But the truth was, the cabin no longer felt like mine. Every corner whispered her presence. The blanket she stitched still lay across the chair. The herbs she hung had long since dried, but I couldn't take them down. Even the sound of the wind reminded me of her humming when she cooked. I felt distant from her, even though she had only been gone a few weeks. It wasn't just the miles that separated us. It was the not knowing. Did she think of me? Did she miss this place the way I missed her? Or was I just a chapter in her story while she had become the whole book of mine? There were moments I almost wrote a letter. I even set pen to paper once, but the words wouldn't come. What could I say? Come back, I need you? This place is empty without you. None of it felt right. I didn't want to beg, but I also didn't want to let her slip away. One evening, as the sun fell behind the pines, I sat on the porch and stared at the trail that led away from the cabin. I remembered the first time she walked down that path, with me, laughing as her boots sank in the mud. I remembered how she looked at the cabin that day, not as a guest, but as if she had found something she didn't know she was searching for. That memory gave me hope. If she once felt at home here, maybe she could again. Maybe the distance wasn't permanent. Maybe humans aren't meant to live only in silence and solitude. Maybe we're meant to build, to share, to turn walls into homes. Not just for ourselves, but for each other. So I kept the cabin ready. Every day I lit the fire as if she might walk in cold from the woods. I cooked extra food just in case she returned hungry. I left the chair across from mine by the table, untouched, waiting. Some nights the loneliness felt like a weight pressing on my chest. I thought about the world beyond the trees, the cities she returned to, the family she held close again. I wondered if she sat somewhere thinking of me, of this cabin in the forest, of the man who let her in from the rain. And then one night, as I stared into the flames, I realized something. She had said, "This is ours." I had resisted those words, clung to the thought that it was mine. But maybe she was right. Maybe the cabin wasn't just about who built it. It was about who gave it meaning. Without her, it was only wood and stone. With her, it was life. That thought gave me strength. It reminded me of something deeply human, that we are more when we share, when we open the door instead of keeping it closed. My cabin may have been built by my hands, but it became a home because of what we shared inside it. So I wait, but I wait with hope. Not the hopeless kind that drags a man down, but the kind that lifts him, that keeps the fire burning against the cold. I don't know when or if she will return, but I know this: the door will always be open, The fire will always be warm, and the cabin will always be ours. He made my forest cabin her home, now she says it's ours. And maybe she's right. Maybe it always was. The forest was alive again with spring. Green leaves covered the trees, and the air carried the smell of earth after rain. Birds sang early in the morning, and the stream near the cabin rushed louder, with melted snow. It should have been a season of joy, but to me it felt empty. Claire had been gone for months now. At first I counted the days. Then I counted the weeks.
Now I had stopped counting because the numbers only reminded me of how long it had been since I last saw her face. I woke up each morning to the same silence. No sound of her voice asking if the fire was still warm. No sound of her laughter as
she teased me about how much bread I ate. Just silence. I walked through the cabin like a shadow, keeping everything in its place. Her chair still stood across from mine. Her blanket still lay folded on the bed. I could not move them. It felt like if I did, I would erase the last proof that she had ever been here. Sometimes I sat by the window looking out at the trail she walked away on. I imagined her somewhere far away, maybe in a city surrounded by people busy with life. Did she still think about the cabin? Did she still think about me? I wanted to write to her. I thought about it almost every day. But when I tried, the words never came. My hand froze above the paper. What would I even say? If I wrote, "Come back," would she hear my heart in those words, or would it only sound selfish? If I wrote, "I miss you," would it be enough to bring her closer, or would it push her farther away? The hardest part was not knowing. She had said she needed to see her family. She had promised it would not be forever. But promises can be fragile. Time has a way of changing people, of changing hearts. One night, as the fire burned low, I sat on the porch and thought about why it hurt so much, and I realized it was because I cared more than I admitted. I had told myself the cabin was mine, that I didn't need anyone. But when she came, she changed everything. She made me see that humans are not meant to live only in silence. We are meant to share, to connect, to carry each other's burdens. And when she left, she carried a part of me with her. Still, I could not let despair take me. That is not what humans are made for. We are made to keep going, even when hope feels thin. I reminded myself of that every day. If I gave up on her, I would also give up on what she had given me. Laughter, warmth, life. And that was too precious to lose. So I worked. I repaired the roof again before the summer storms came. I planted more seeds in the garden, this time, rows of beans and corn. I carved new shelves inside the cabin to hold jars and tools. Every task was a way of keeping the cabin alive, keeping it ready. Because deep inside, I believed she would return. Some nights, I dreamed of her. In the dreams, she was sitting by the fire, smiling as if she had never left. Sometimes she was cooking, sometimes she was singing, sometimes just sitting quietly with me. I woke from those dreams with tears in my eyes, but also with a strange strength. Because the dreams reminded me of what was possible, the forest itself seemed to whisper hope to me. When the sun rose through the trees, painting the cabin in golden light, I thought, maybe she will walk back through that trail today. When the wind blew through the leaves, I imagined it carrying my thoughts to her wherever she was. I did not know how to reach her. I did not know if she would ever read a letter or if she wanted one. But I knew this. The cabin was not only mine anymore. She had made it more than wood and stone. She had made it ours. And I could not let that go. One afternoon, I found myself speaking aloud as if she could hear me. "Claire," I said quietly, "if you ever find yourself lost, this place will still be here. I'll keep the fire burning. I'll keep the door open. This will always be home for both of us." It felt foolish speaking to empty air, yet it also felt right. Because sometimes hope is not about being heard. It is about believing that one day the words will reach where they need to go, and that is what it means to be human, to keep faith when there is no reason, to hold on when everything tells you to let go, to believe that distance is not the end, only a space waiting to be crossed. So I wait, but I wait with strength. I wait with the hands that built this cabin, with the heart that found life again when she stepped inside. She may be far now, but the bond we shared is not broken. He made my forest cabin her home. Now she says it's ours. Even if she is far away, those words still guide me. They are not the past, they are a promise.